Welcome back to the Pharmacy of Fools. You spend a fortune installing heavy deadbolts and security cameras to keep threats out of your house, completely ignoring the fact that you personally bought the poison at the grocery store and carried it right through the front door. Let's look inside your cabinets.
For decades, chemical corporations have engineered a massive, highly profitable deception. They synthesize cheap, toxic industrial byproducts, package them in bright, friendly colors, and convince you they are absolutely essential for a clean, modern home. Today, we are tearing down the facade. Here are 30 scientifically verified, dangerous everyday poisons you are unknowingly hoarding in your house. It is time to face the uncompromising biological truth about what you are actually breathing, eating, and touching. Poison 1. Thermal paper receipts. You confidently sanitize your hands at the grocery store, feeling responsible and clean, and then you immediately reach out to grab your printed receipt. This is a profound biological mistake. That innocent-looking piece of paper is not printed with standard ink. It is coated in a chemical called bisphenol A, or BPA, a relentless endocrine disruptor. When you touch this thermal paper with hands still damp from an alcohol-based hand sanitizer, the alcohol acts as a highly efficient chemical solvent. It strips your skin's natural barrier and drastically increases the dermal absorption of the BPA directly into your bloodstream by up to 100 times. You are delivering a hormone-disrupting payload right into your cardiovascular system, mimicking estrogen and throwing your internal biology into chaos, all for a piece of trash. Poison 2. Black plastic spatulas. You innocently flip your morning eggs with a cheap black plastic spatula, completely unaware of the dark, unregulated industrial origin of that specific utensil. Much of the rigid black plastic used in cheap kitchenware is not newly synthesized. It is actually manufactured from illegally recycled electronic waste, specifically the plastic casings of old computers and televisions. These casings were originally treated with massive amounts of brominated flame retardants. When you press this contaminated plastic against a hot frying pan, the thermal stress forces the plastic to break down. It releases these dangerous, thyroid-disrupting chemicals directly into your hot cooking oil. You are seasoning your healthy breakfast with the exact same industrial chemicals designed to stop a television from catching fire. Poison 3. Microwave popcorn bags. You view a warm bag of microwave popcorn as a harmless, cozy movie night snack, but the uncompromising chemical reality is hidden directly inside the engineered packaging. To prevent the hot synthetic butter from soaking through the paper bag, corporate manufacturers coat the interior lining with a dense layer of PFAS, globally recognized as forever chemicals. As the bag heats up to extreme temperatures inside the microwave, these stable carcinogens vaporize into a chemical steam and saturate every single porous kernel. When you inhale that artificial butter aroma, you are taking a deep breath of vaporized industrial waterproofing agents. You are consuming a concentrated, bioaccumulating dose of synthetic chemicals that your body has absolutely zero biological mechanism to break down safely. Poison 4. Gas stoves. Hidden leaks. You trust your expensive kitchen appliances implicitly, believing that if the flame is off, the danger is gone. However, recent environmental testing has proven that many standard household gas stoves are silently leaking microdoses of unburned gas 24 hours a day, even when completely shut off. This leaking gas is contaminated with benzene, a potent carcinogen directly linked to the development of severe leukemia and blood cancers. Because modern homes are perfectly sealed to maximize energy efficiency, this toxic gas is permanently trapped inside. Without constant, industrial-grade ventilation pulling the air outside, your trusted cooking appliance is acting as a silent, invisible exhaust pipe, steadily poisoning the breathing air inside your home. Poison 5. Glide dental floss. You meticulously floss your teeth every single night to protect your dental health, blindly following the advice of your dentist. But you are falling into a corporate trap if you use ultra-smooth, gliding floss. To make that fragile string slide effortlessly between tightly packed teeth without shredding, multinational manufacturers coat the fibers in Teflon-like PFAS compounds. Every single time you pull that string back and forth, you are sawing forever chemicals directly into your delicate, highly permeable, and often bleeding gum tissue. By bypassing your digestive defenses completely, you are mechanically rubbing an industrial non-stick coating straight into your open cardiovascular system. A daily hygiene habit is instead acting as a highly efficient delivery system to pump your bloodstream full of endocrine disruptors. Poison 6. Dryer sheets. You crave the artificial, engineered scent of fresh laundry, tossing a woven dryer sheet into the machine with your clothes. The truth is that these sheets do not clean or soften anything. Instead, they coat your entire wardrobe in an invisible, suffocating layer of quaternary ammonium compounds, commonly known as quats. These chemicals are documented respiratory irritants. When you put on these treated clothes, the friction from your movement transfers the quats directly into your open pores, while the synthetic fragrances off-gas straight into your lungs all day. You are provoking asthma attacks and skin contact dermatitis under the deceptive disguise of a fresh spring breeze, literally wrapping your body in toxins. Poison 7. Plastic coffee pods. You rely on the ultimate convenience of your pod-based coffee machine to start your busy morning. But forcing near-boiling water through a cheap, thin plastic cup at high pressure is a chemical disaster happening right on your kitchen counter. The intense thermal heat and physical pressure stress the structural integrity of the plastic casing, causing it to degrade on a microscopic level. This process releases millions of invisible microplastic particles and potent estrogen-mimicking plasticizers directly into your hot morning coffee. You are starting every single day not just with a boost of caffeine, but by hydrating your cellular matrix with a hot, brewed soup of synthetic polymers. Poison 8. Overheated non-stick pans. You love the frictionless convenience of your lightweight, non-stick Teflon cookware for frying eggs without oil. But if you accidentally leave an empty pan on a hot gas burner for just a few minutes, that convenience transforms into a volatile chemical threat. When heated above 500 degrees Fahrenheit, the engineered polytetrafluoroethylene coating structurally breaks down, emitting an invisible cocktail of toxic fluorinated gases. These fumes are so efficient and poisonous that they cause a documented medical phenomenon known as Teflon toxicosis. This off-gassing can rapidly suffocate pet birds in the adjacent room, while triggering severe, flu-like polymer fume fever in humans within mere minutes. Poison 9. PVC shower curtains. You unwrap a brand new vinyl shower curtain and take a deep breath of that distinct, new plastic smell, assuming it just means the product is fresh from the factory. That recognizable scent is actually a silent release of volatile organic compounds and phthalate plasticizers into your bathroom. When you turn on the hot water and step into the shower, the circulating steam and ambient heat accelerate this chemical off-gassing process. You willingly step into a confined, poorly ventilated, steaming box and inhale a humid cloud of endocrine-disrupting chemicals. These floating toxins perfectly mimic your body's natural hormones, disrupting your reproductive system and thyroid function every single day. Poison 10. Aluminum foil and acid. You frequently wrap your leftover homemade lasagna, fresh fish drenched in lemon juice, or tomato-based stews in standard aluminum foil before throwing it into the hot oven. This common culinary habit is a severe chemical miscalculation. The acidic nature of citrus fruits and tomatoes acts as a potent natural solvent against the fragile metallic foil. The radiating heat of the oven accelerates this reaction, dissolving the surface of the metal and leaching concentrated levels of aluminum directly into the core of your dinner. You are flawlessly delivering a heavy metal, one linked by extensive scientific studies to neurodegenerative decline, right to your family's dining table every night.
You genuinely thought you were safe behind locked doors. But the multi-billion-dollar chemical machine didn't break in, they just painted their toxic runoff in bright colors and convinced you to buy it. If you're starting to realize your modern lifestyle is a perfectly engineered biological trap, smash that subscribe button right now. We are just getting started, and the worst household poisons are still hiding right out in the open. Stay paranoid, and let's keep ripping the mask off.
Poison 11. Pet flea collars. You put a cheap flea collar on your dog to protect them from pests, genuinely believing you are doing the right thing for your pet's health. The reality is that these collars are essentially solid plastic rings saturated with agricultural-grade neurotoxic pesticides like tetrachlorvinphos or propoxur. These chemicals do not just stay on the dog's neck, they continuously off-gas and rub off onto their fur. Every single time you, your children, or your guests pet the dog, the pesticide residue transfers directly onto your bare hands. It then seamlessly migrates to your furniture, your bed sheets, your food, and ultimately your face. You are bringing harsh, regulated farming chemicals directly into your living room, exposing your central nervous system to potent toxins on a daily basis just to avoid a few bugs. Poison 12. Crystal decanters. You store your absolute finest whiskey, bourbon, or vintage wine in a beautifully crafted crystal decanter, completely unaware of the invisible chemical extraction process happening inside. Authentic, high-quality, heavy crystal gets its brilliant, light-catching shine directly from extreme concentrations of lead oxide. When acidic or alcoholic liquids sit trapped in these vintage containers for weeks or months on end, the liquid acts as a potent solvent. It systematically pulls the heavy metal directly out of the crystalline glass structure. When you finally pour a glass to celebrate a special occasion, you are actually pouring yourself a lead-infused cocktail that targets and degrades your central nervous system, proving that luxury aesthetics are often a disguised biological trap. Poison 13. Canned soups and tomatoes. You specifically buy canned goods prominently labeled BPA-Free to protect your family from hormonal disruption. The corporate deception here is utterly flawless and terrifying. To quickly replace the banned chemical, multinational manufacturers simply lined the cans with a remarkably similar epoxy resin containing BPS or BPF, chemical cousins that are almost identical in molecular structure. When acidic foods like condensed tomatoes or soups are stored in these metal cans, they eat away at the thin resin lining. The BPS continuously leaches directly into your food, delivering the exact same endocrine disruption and estrogen-mimicking chaos you were actively trying to avoid. They merely swapped one poison for another to protect their profit margins without changing the actual health outcome. Poison 14. Plug-in air fresheners. You happily plug a synthetic air freshener directly into your bedroom wall to cover up stale air or pet odors, thinking you are creating a clean environment. These devices absolutely do not clean or purify the air. They pollute it. They operate by continuously heating and vaporizing an unregulated cocktail of undisclosed fragrance chemicals. This artificial mist is laden with dangerous phthalates and volatile organic compounds. By leaving this device plugged in, you are installing a miniature, efficient chemical smokestack right next to your bed. You are forcing your lungs to constantly filter harsh artificial petroleum byproducts for 8 solid hours while you sleep, compromising your long-term respiratory health under the manufactured illusion of a fresh ocean breeze. Poison 15. Wrinkle-free clothing. You specifically buy wrinkle-free or iron-free dress shirts and bed sheets for the ultimate convenience in your busy morning routine. However, to force the cotton fabric to permanently resist creasing, textile corporations bathe the raw materials in a formaldehyde-based resin. As you wear the shirt throughout the day, the natural heat and moisture from your body trigger the dormant resin to slowly, continuously release toxic formaldehyde gas. You are deliberately wrapping your largest organ, your skin, in a known, scientifically proven human carcinogen. You are sacrificing your cellular integrity and risking allergic contact dermatitis, absorbing industrial embalming chemicals simply to avoid spending 5 extra minutes using a standard household iron before work. Poison 16. Particle board furniture. You furnish your newly renovated home with cheap bookshelves and modern dressers made of MDF, or particle board. These products are not solid wood. They are essentially compressed wood dust held together by overwhelming amounts of urea formaldehyde glue. This cheap industrial adhesive does not permanently stay solid. It continuously off-gases formaldehyde vapor directly into your sealed home environment. It silently poisons the ambient air in your living room and bedroom for up to 5 full years after you bring the furniture home. You are breathing in a regulated, toxic chemical compound every single day, completely unaware that your stylish, budget-friendly bookshelf is acting as a continuous chemical emitter right inside your personal sanctuary, polluting the very air your family breathes. Poison 17. Microwaving plastic containers. You quickly heat up your leftovers in a plastic container prominently labeled microwave safe, believing the manufacturer guarantees your health. This deceptive label only means the plastic won't melt into a deformed puddle inside the machine. It absolutely does not mean it remains chemically stable. When synthetic plastic comes into direct contact with hot, fatty, or acidic foods, the microwave radiation acts as a catalyst. It breaks down the chemical bonds on a molecular level, leaching invisible microplastics, endocrine disruptors, and toxic plasticizers directly into the fat of your meal. You are compromising the nutritional value of your food, replacing it with a concentrated dose of synthetic industrial polymers that your digestive system was never designed to process or eliminate. Poison 18. Mothballs. You place old-fashioned, pungent mothballs in your dark closet to protect your expensive winter coats from insect damage. You're actually deploying a concentrated solid block of pure pesticide, either naphthalene or paradichlorobenzene. These chemicals are specifically engineered to sublimate, turning from a solid block directly into a toxic carcinogenic gas. This gas saturates the fabric of your clothes and the air in your bedroom, ensuring that you wear a concentrated layer of insect neurotoxin directly against your skin all winter long. By trying to save a piece of wool clothing from a few moths, you are exposing your liver and your central nervous system to an antiquated chemical weapon that continuously poisons your indoor air and has absolutely no place in a modern human home. Poison 19. Waterproof makeup. You rely on expensive waterproof mascara and long-lasting eyeliner to get through a demanding, sweaty day without smudging. The uncompromising truth behind that miraculous water resistance is the unregulated use of PFAS, the exact same forever chemicals used to coat industrial non-stick frying pans. You are voluntarily applying a toxic industrial compound mere millimeters from the delicate, absorbent mucous membranes of your eyes. These chemicals do not break down. They seamlessly absorb directly into your bloodstream day after day, slowly bioaccumulating in your internal organs. You are permanently risking your systemic biological health and exposing your endocrine system to severe disruption just for the sake of temporary cosmetic convenience that you wash down the drain every night. Poison 20. Antibacterial cutting boards. You buy a rigid plastic cutting board infused with antibacterial chemicals like triclosan, genuinely trying to keep your kitchen perfectly sanitary. This is a counterproductive biological trap. Every time you chop vegetables or slice meat, your sharp kitchen knife scores the plastic surface, physically scraping off thousands of microscopic, jagged shards of the board. These tiny, triclosan-laced plastic shards mix flawlessly into your salad or your dinner, delivering a potent endocrine-disrupting chemical directly into your digestive tract. Instead of merely killing surface bacteria, you are actively swallowing a chemical that destroys your healthy intestinal microbiome and promotes the terrifying evolution of antibiotic-resistant superbugs right inside your own biological ecosystem. Poison 21. Dry cleaning bags. You bring your expensive suits and dresses home from the dry cleaner and immediately hang them straight in the closet, perfectly wrapped in their thin, transparent plastic bags. Those completely sealed bags are trapping a concentrated cloud of PERC, a volatile, carcinogenic solvent used to chemically clean the fabric. By leaving the plastic film on the clothes, you systematically trap the toxic gas, allowing it to saturate the stale air inside your closet. It seeps into your bedroom every single time you open the door, guaranteeing that you are breathing a regulated industrial carcinogen while you sleep. You are destroying your respiratory health and exposing your lungs to severe chemical stress just to keep your clothes free of regular household dust before your next big event. Poison 22. Ultrasonic humidifiers. You run a silent, modern ultrasonic humidifier in the dry winter months, innocently filling the tank directly with standard municipal tap water. Unlike traditional warm mist vaporizers that safely boil water to create pure steam, ultrasonic machines use fast, high-frequency physical vibrations to mechanically shatter the liquid water into a microscopic, invisible mist. This means every single heavy metal, hard mineral, and chemical impurity present in your tap water is systematically aerosolized into a fine, highly breathable, white dust. You are effortlessly and continuously pumping heavy particulate matter directly deep into your delicate lung tissue. This creates an indoor air quality crisis that perfectly mimics the devastating biological effects of breathing in a polluted, industrialized smog directly in your living room. Poison 23. Couch fabric protectors. You eagerly pay extra money for the furniture factory to spray your brand new, expensive couch with a high-tech, stain-resistant fabric protector. This invisible, seemingly magical shield is nothing more than a concentrated, applied spray of PFAS forever chemicals. As you sit, lay, and move on the couch over the years, the constant mechanical friction causes this invisible chemical coating to dry out, fracture, and break off into the air. It systematically turns into microscopic, toxic, airborne dust that permanently circulates in the ambient air of your living room and settles onto your floors. You are inhaling severe endocrine disruptors with every single breath you take while relaxing, trading the absolute biological safety of your entire family for the minor convenience of easily wiping up a spilled glass of water. Poison 24. Styrofoam meat trays. You confidently buy raw, bloody steaks and chicken breasts neatly packaged on standard, lightweight styrofoam trays, tightly wrapped in clear plastic film. Styrofoam is manufactured directly from polystyrene, a highly unstable, processed synthetic plastic. When the raw animal fat rests directly against this cheap packaging, especially if the tray gets even slightly warm in your car during the drive home, a ruthless chemical reaction immediately occurs. The liquid animal fat acts as a highly efficient biological solvent, systematically leaching the scientifically proven carcinogenic chemical styrene straight out of the foam. It pulls the industrial toxin deeply into the muscle tissue of the meat you are about to grill and serve to your family, completely compromising your weekend barbecue. Poison 25. Flame retardant mattresses. You innocently sleep every single night on a comfortable mattress that has been treated with PBDE flame retardant chemicals, which is a strict legal requirement in many commercial manufacturing zones. These complex, toxic industrial chemicals are scientifically proven to relentlessly disrupt human thyroid function and impact neurological development. Over the natural lifespan of the foam mattress, the material structurally breaks down. The toxic chemicals seamlessly detach from the polyurethane and integrate themselves directly into your microscopic household dust. You genuinely spend a full third of your entire life with your face pressed directly against an off-gassing chemical sponge that is slowly destroying your endocrine system and polluting the supposedly safe sanctuary of your master bedroom. Poison 26. Old peeling window paint. You live in a charming, beautifully renovated historic home built well before 1978, completely assuming the danger is gone simply because the walls have a fresh coat of modern paint. The uncompromising, terrifying danger lies completely hidden just under the surface on your windowsills and door frames. The original foundational layers likely contain massive, unregulated amounts of heavy lead. Every single time you slide open or forcefully close the painted wooden windows, the mechanical friction decisively grinds those hidden toxic layers into an invisible, microscopic dust. This heavy metal dust settles perfectly on your floors and windowsills, acting as a brutal, efficient neurotoxin with absolutely zero safe exposure limits, permanently lowering cognitive function and causing severe neurological damage. Poison 27. Cheap, imported cinnamon. You generously sprinkle cheap, unbranded cinnamon on your morning oatmeal, genuinely believing you are doing something fantastic to naturally boost your metabolic rate. Recent, highly alarming FDA investigations reveal that many imported spices are deliberately and ruthlessly adulterated before they ever reach the grocery store shelves. To artificially add weight to the product and create a much brighter, profitable visual color, international suppliers systematically mix the raw powder with toxic lead chromate. You are unknowingly trading a supposedly healthy metabolic boost for a concentrated, daily, bioaccumulating microdose of severe heavy metal poisoning that will permanently lodge itself inside your bones and brain tissue, proving that budget spices carry a devastating hidden cost. Poison 28. PVC yoga mats. You purposefully roll out your thick, squishy, brightly colored PVC yoga mat to improve your cardiovascular health and find deep mental peace after a long day. PVC is an inherently rigid, brittle plastic. To completely force it to become soft and pliable, international factories pump the material full of massive amounts of phthalates, a class of severe, restricted chemical plasticizers. As you engage in an intense, sweaty workout, your core body temperature rises, and you take massive, deep breaths while lying entirely face down on the synthetic mat. You are systematically and flawlessly inhaling concentrated endocrine disruptors directly into your lungs during the exact, vulnerable moments you are actively trying to detoxify and heal your biological system from the stress of modern living. Poison 29. Squeaky PVC dog toys. You lovingly buy a cheap, brightly colored, squeaky vinyl toy for your dog, assuming that pet products are strictly regulated for basic safety before hitting the market. These imported plastic chew items frequently and legally contain staggering, mind-boggling levels of heavy lead and toxic phthalate plasticizers. As your dog relentlessly chews on the toy for hours, their hot, acidic saliva decisively breaks down the structural integrity of the plastic, efficiently pulling the heavy toxins straight out. That toxic, chemically loaded saliva then transfers flawlessly and invisibly to your bare hands, your living room carpets, and your fabric furniture, creating an invisible, bioaccumulating chemical hazard right in the middle of your supposedly safe living space where your family relaxes. Poison 30. Household dust. You simply view the light gray dust settling quietly on your bookshelves as a simple, unavoidable nuisance, but it is actually the ultimate, inescapable environmental trap. Because modern, energy-efficient homes are perfectly sealed to prevent heat loss, indoor dust has drastically evolved into a highly dangerous substance. It acts as a massive, highly efficient physical magnet, systematically collecting and concentrating every single flame retardant, heavy metal, phthalate, and microscopic plastic particle constantly shedding from your consumer goods. Breathing your stagnant indoor dust today is the exact biological equivalent of inhaling a concentrated, aerosolized cocktail of the entire industrial chemical manufacturing sector directly into your vulnerable respiratory system.
So, before you confidently lock your heavy steel doors tonight to keep your family completely safe from the outside world, you need to take a brutally hard, uncompromising look at the cheap plastic containers decaying in your fridge and the heavily synthetic, brightly colored sprays aggressively hiding under your bathroom sink. The multi-billion-dollar chemical industry absolutely didn't need to violently break into your house through a shattered window. They just packaged their industrial waste beautifully and convinced you to buy the poison and spray it yourself. Smash that subscribe button right now Drop a comment below telling us exactly which of these 30 hidden, terrifying poisons you are violently throwing in the trash tonight. And remember, stay completely paranoid.